know. But anyways, he was always like, just tell him about Christ. What's the worst that can happen? And so it's just seeing God. I remember we'd go to people and say, do you know who Jesus is? And a lot of people would cry, and they would bring out a hidden cross, and they would say, yes, I know him. My child was dying, and I cried out to God, and Jesus appeared to me. And it was just amazing to know. For the first time, I realized whoever calls on the name of the Lord will be saved, and Jesus will appear. Jesus will reveal himself. And as someone who'd grown up in the U.S., I knew that God was not limited, even though it's good to have missionaries. But whoever calls on him, no matter which part of the world, just says, God, who are you? They will find Jesus. And I had so much comfort knowing that when I was in Iran. The first time we were arrested, Said and our house churches were growing, and we had a house church member call us, and he was really scared, and he said, I just feel like someone's following me all day. I feel like something bad is about to happen. So Said said, well, wait till midnight. We'll come over when it's dark. And so we go to his house around midnight. We knock at the door, and as soon as we knock and he comes out, this house church leader, we have Revolutionary Guards, who are the more radical. I don't know if you've seen the Argo. They're the more radical. They report to the religious leader, the Ayatollah. They're the more radical police. They're the religious police. And they're, by many nations to this date, they're considered terrorist groups. So we had them attack us. And I'm thinking, this is a movie. I'm from Boise, Idaho. This shouldn't be happening to me. So, as soon as we knock the door, this house church leader, he opens the door, we get attacked, and we get shoved into these cars, and we're driven down these alleys. And we go to this, I don't know what, it was like an interrogation place, but it also held prisoners, maybe a detention. But there was a lot of rooms, and in the middle was a courtyard. And from each room you could see into the courtyard. It was a small window. And we were just moved from person to person. Finally, we were handed down to this top interrogator, and he said, this is your last chance. If you say, and I'm sitting here, Said sitting here, and the house church member sitting down there, the leader. And he says, if you say you're Christian, if you say you're Muslim, you go free right now. And this is around 3, 4 in the morning. It's been 3, 4 hours of questioning, and we're just tired. And this guy is like, this is the last person who's going to intimidate us. And he says, if you say you're a Muslim, you go free. If you say you're a Christian, you will die. Let me promise you that. And he has evil and anger in his face. And he says, and I know it's the spirit of fear trying to intimidate me. And he says, and it won't be an easy death. You will be tortured. You will be raped. And then you will die. You won't get to see your husband. And for a second, I'd gone to church. I'd witnessed about Christ. I'd stood for my faith since I was 9 in the face of pretty intense parents who were trying to de-brainwash me. University of Puget Sound, I aced through it. I mean, a lot of the Lord used my passion, my heart for him to lead a lot of the liberal students to Christ. But, I'd done a lot of Christian stuff, but deep down when I saw the gun and I saw the threats, I said, how real is Jesus? This is real. This man's face is real. This gun is real. I really, for a few seconds, had to see how real is Jesus Christ, that would I be willing, here's my life. I could have a life with this man. How real is Jesus Christ that I would be willing to be tortured and raped and die? And, I can't say there was anything like today, anything from me. It was God's grace, because I opened my mouth and I said, I'm a Christian. And I knew that second, the Lord just put in my heart, I will protect you. Don't deny me. I won't deny you. I will deliver you. And when I said that, I just had to open my mouth. And when it came out, the guy got mad, and he said, give me your testimony, and your testimony will be used against you. And it's it's like confessing to murder or something. And so I, shared it, and then he was very angry. And I'm thinking in my mind, Lord, you said you're going to protect me. This man's getting angrier and angrier and angrier as I'm sharing my testimony. His face is getting red. And then Said's turn came, and Said said, I'm a Christian. And he heard Saeed's testimony, and he was mad. I was imagining Stephen being stoned, like the anger that people had wanting. I just thought, we're not going to make it to the prison. He's going to take our life right now. And, because Saeed was born, and because with me, he said, you were 9, your brain wasn't fully developed, you're a woman, and you're in the U.S. You were brainwashed by the... So he's like, he was trying to rationalize why I would become a Christian. Like, okay, this is why. Your brain wasn't, you're this. And so he was like putting me down, but this is like anger. And then Saeed, he was born in Iran, he was raised in Iran, he was being recruited by Hezbollah, he was just passionate Muslim, and God meets him and changes his life, and he's a passionate Christian, but the guy could not understand it. And at the time we were actually arrested, his mom was still teaching at a mosque to the woman. She was ministering to the woman at the mosque. So he knew Saeed's background was a very strong Muslim, and his family was still Muslim, and he lost it. He said, it's over, you are done. I can't understand you, why you would convert to Christianity. I just don't understand it. And he closed our folder, and he said, you're dead. He said, you're dead, that's it. And I'm thinking, again, Lord, you promised you're going to deliver me. This does not look like deliverance. And as they're taking us down, the guards are coming and taking us with these guns. This interrogator just couldn't, there was some war inside of him, and he looked at Saeed and said, wait, I need to talk to this man. So he took Saeed to this courtyard, and this house church leader and I are sitting on a bench, and we're looking into the courtyard. And it's funny now that I think about it. At that time, it was, this interrogator is just like, the house church leader is just like, okay, let's unite in prayer. Let's pray that the Lord would close Saeed's mouth, and he would just give him wisdom. This is like evangelizing to this interrogator is death. And you were just praying, and I look up and Saeed's talking, and I'm like, I don't think he's closing his mouth. I think he's evangelizing. But it was interesting because I could see heated discussion, but we couldn't see what they were saying. And they come out, and I see, because there's guards and other interrogators, this guy's trying to hold back tear. He's just like, just go. And he ripped up all the stuff they'd taken, like, it was like 5 a.m. now, all the stuff they'd written down, and he said, just go. And we called Saeed's parents, and we gave the location. Anyways, they came to pick us up. And as we're leaving, this interrogator said, can I have a Bible? I want to know this Jesus.